Welcome to the Driveway Beers podcast with Mike and Alex. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share on any platform that you're listening on. All right, welcome back to another show. Thank you for coming back. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. This episode is going to be brought to you by Cheers and Spirits from the Arnold Station Plaza in Arnold, Maryland. Off Ritchie Highway, across from CVS Plaza, and behind the McDonald's there. Cheers and Spirits, they sponsored our last two episodes. We had the semi-annual beer show, and then our very first After Dark episode, which was just us sitting around drinking bourbon and whiskey, and we just kind of let the mics roll. And that was the first one we've ever done of that. And we released that on December 1st, which was last week. Cheers and Spirits, nice place over there. They do the tastings every now and again when they have the reps in the front part of the building. I'm not sure how often they do that, but I remember I was there one time and there was a rep there just doling out samples, and I was like, well, they're giving out free alcohol. Like, one, I didn't know if they could do that. Yeah. And then two, I was like, well, all right then. What do you got?
And why has no one ever told me this?
Yeah. I was like, I think the guy was giving out wine. I'm not a wine guy, but I was like, well, it's free, so I'm going to try it.
Right.
And I did. And I didn't like it because it's wine. Not a wine person. But again, it was free. I was just like, oh, okay then. So it's interesting. Maybe if you go over there, go inside and ask them if they have, they may have a schedule of when they're going to have reps over there doing free samples. But they have everything in that store from the wines, the spirits, They definitely have the whiskeys and the bourbons like that we were trying the other day, and of course if you just want your regular old 18-pack.
Yeah. If you just want to go in there and be low class and grab some Bud Light or Coors Light,
it's not low class, man.
I'm just not a Bud Light guy. Though I did drink a Bud Light the other day, and I didn't vomit immediately. So.
Oh, wait, hold on. Is Miller Lite low class?
Yeah, but Miller Lite's low class that tastes good and doesn't give you the Bud mud like Bud Light does.
I don't want to paint the broad stroke.
No, I'm so bad with Bud Light that I don't like people that like Bud Light. That's about how bad it is. So,
I mean, Josh is like him, and he drinks Coors Light, so you know.
Yeah, Coors Light. I really don't like.
I don't like Coors Light. I don't know how he drinks that.
Yeah. To
me, there's a difference between Miller Lite and Coors Light.
Yeah. No, I'll drink Busch lattes.
That was surprising.
Yeah.
I'm not surprising that you liked it. Surprising that we all liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I might even switch from the Miller Lights to the Busch Lights.
Yeah.
That might be the new, and I don't know, like, I don't know why I'm so hesitant to move over. Like, maybe it's just out of habit. Like, I like my Miller Lite can.
Yeah.
Although I did switch over from High Life
to
Miller Lite. But I think that was the same beer, to be honest with you.
What's the champagne of beers?
Which, it's legit.
And it has, like, the lady with the champagne glass.
Listen, you want to know why I started drinking High Life Light? Or High Life? It was the commercials back in, like, I want to say, like, late 90s, early 2000s. And when they had the commercial and, like, the guy comes on and says, now you're living.
Yeah.
The High Life. Right? Like, there's that pause there.
Yeah.
But, like, the commercials were great. And, like, you know what? I do want to live the High Life. Mm-hmm. Like, I bought into the ad campaign hook, line, sinker.
Yeah.
And was drinking it ever since. But then I switched over to the Miller Lights, mostly because I like the taste better. Right? And so I do like the Busch Light better than the Miller Lite a little bit. I'm not saying it's a big difference, but I don't know if I can move. Like, the Miller Lights have been the house beer for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make that switch.
Yeah, so my favorite, I love the 16-ounce aluminum screw top Miller Lite cans. Yeah. They are my jam. Now, I do not like Miller Lite out of a bottle. I can't stand it out of a bottle.
I'm not a big fan of beer out of bottles anyway.
Me neither. But those screw top cans, they stay cold forever. They're great when you're fishing, especially on the boat. You can just if the fish start hitting, you can put the top back on it. You know?
Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah,
there's something to be said for that.
you put the top back on, you're good. And then when you land the fish, take the fish is in the cooler. Take the top back off the beer. It's fine.
Or let's say let's say you put the top back on, and you put it back in the cooler.
Yeah.
Because let's say you're gonna go for a walk or something. You don't want to take the beer with you. Okay, then I'll put the screw top back on. Back in the cooler goes. And you know what? It's gonna be nice and cold when I get back.
Yeah, and still fizzy.
Yeah, right.
It's not gonna be flat.
I'm surprised more people don't do the screw top.
Yeah,
for the aluminum.
I love the screw top. And then the fact that it's not in other brands or even other types of beer now. Coors Light, you can get the aluminum screw top. I wonder if Miller has a patent on that.
Miller
design.
Coors, yeah, right.
Because it's only Coors Light. Yeah, at Coors Light and Miller, there's no. The Budweiser has the aluminum bottles, but they're like bottle shaped. I bet you it's a patent thing.
It might be.
It'd be great if we had some device that was like in our pocket that we could look this up. Maybe someday.
Maybe. Is Jamie here? Do we have a Jamie? We need a production assistant.
Yeah. We're hiring a production assistant. We're not paying anything.
Right. It pays
an intern. So if you're a college kid and you're looking for some internship experience, and you have a reliable computer,
and you can do social media.
Yeah.
Because our social media guy sucks. It's me, by the way.
Terrible.
I am not good at like. Even something as stupid as like trying to get the right photo to come up. Like, I can't. I'm like.
Yeah, I can't even manage my own stuff. So, I'm actually going to look and see, does Miller Coors own the patent on the on that screw top can? So, I don't know. We'll find out. And the problem is, like, I can't do two things at once. So I can't talk about one thing and type this thing into the phone without dead air.
I chose a bad time to blow my nose while you're doing it. But you're going to throw a shout out to Josh for getting me sick during the last episode. But that wasn't even the purpose of today's episode. You went to the movies.
I did. So I went to the movies after Thanksgiving, which apparently is a very popular movie time.
Yeah.
I don't generally go to the movies. I'm more of the type to wait for it to come out on a streaming service and watch it. The last movie I saw in the theater that I wanted to see was Top Gun.
Right.
Top Gun Maverick, which I think is one of the highest grossing movies of the year, if not. It's up there.
It was up there, yeah.
So we can get into some of the whys and stuff about that later. But we went to see the new Disney Pixar film, Strange New World?
Yeah, is it Strange New World? Strange World?
I should probably look that up because I don't want to trash a movie that doesn't exist. But you saw it? You sure?
I feel like Strange New World's like.
Is it Strange World?
Yeah, Strange World.
Okay, yes, it is. So, no. Okay, here it is, yeah. Because there's also a show about, Strange World. So, this Strange World movie comes out, and Pixar has been historically pretty good. I think the last one they had was the Buzz Lightyear spinoff. And that bombed.
Yeah.
And I think it bombed for much the same reason that this one did. But I'm going to kind of get into it differently. So, in the movie, there is a kid. It's essentially a story that it's a father and a son. They're explorers. The son's kind of a skinny weakling. The dad is this big, strapping, brave explorer. They separate. The dad never comes back. He's assumed lost on his mission, whatever he's doing. The son comes back. He becomes a farmer. He gets married, has a kid, and then the movie, kind of starts from there.
By the way, spoiler alerts if you haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like we should do that. We got to tell them spoiler alert before we get to the spoilers. But
right.
All right.
So I don't think anyone's going to see this movie though, because it's not doing very well. I think it made 18 million on that opening.
It's set to lose 100 million.
Yeah. So now, like we said before, Disney's had some flops, and this one, the kid, it turns out, is gay. Big deal. And then in the beginning of the movie, his love interest comes around, but then that storyline just dies. It doesn't continue. It's not critical to the rest of the story.
Right.
It was like a bolt-on.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
weird. And
my point is, if you're gonna, and a lot of these Hollywood's getting slammed for including all this. I'm doing the air quotes, quote unquote, all the woke stuff they have to put in it, or they feel that they should put in it.
The inclusion.
And yeah. And the thing is, at what point does it become they're trying to be inclusive to just pandering?
Like it's being included just to include it, even though it's not part of the larger storyline.
Right. It really had no. And yeah, the kid's nervous around this other kid that he's crushing on, and that's normal. Boy interested in girl, girl interested in boy, girl, boy, whatever it is. That's normal behavior. So they have it in there, and then it's never mentioned again until he's talking to his now newly discovered grandfather. It comes up once more, and at the very end, it shows them together.
Right.
But you could have eliminated the entire storyline, and it wouldn't have changed. It didn't contribute to the film at all. It didn't contribute to the story. It was just, like I said, it was a bolt-on.
Right.
Pandering bolt-on. But there are plenty of movies where either a homosexual relationship is integral to the story, or the characters are gay, and the stories are awesome. One of the ones that comes to mind is Brokeback Mountain. That was a great movie. Philadelphia, great movie. Milk, great movie. And there have been plenty of movies that have, overtly gay or LGBTQ themes or characters that are central to the story, and they're awesome. They don't need bolt-ons. But we have these, like Disney just kind of sticking it into a kid's movie.
Yeah.
And my kids saw it. It didn't bother me that it was in there. Like, my children are going to be they're exposed to that. They're going to see it.
Right.
I don't care about that. It doesn't bother me. What bothers me is they're just sticking it in there. It's almost like, yeah, we got to check this box off. The dog had 3 legs in the movie. It's like, are you trying to check off the handicap box because the dog had 3 legs? Like, if I was in any one of these subgroups, I'd almost be insulted by it.
Right.
Because, like, make a story with a gay or LGBTQ character that's central. The community has done enough that you can find stories that are worth writing movies about. It's been proven they've done it.
Or at least develop that part of the storyline.
Yeah.
Like make it seem like it wasn't like you finished the movie and then some executive saw it and said,
but you don't got the gay guy.
Yeah, you didn't put the gay guy in there, right? Or you didn't put the 3-legged dog in there. So
or it's like, can we have a handicapped kid in there? Right. Well, they're exploring and they're on a flying machine, and it's really not going to. Oh, the dog. Chop the dog's leg off.
Right.
What?
Right. Or I mean, it would be like if you and me were going to be upset that they put like a fat guy plot.
And there's no
in the movie, and like they just put like a random fat guy in the corner doing computer coding.
Right.
And like, well, we got our fat guy in there.
Right, like the dude from Jurassic World. Like, right. Nobody cares. Hey, I got the DNA. No, see, nobody cares.
Right. So, you're right. It's like they're just putting these things in there without it being like a functional part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, everyone needs to be represented here. Like, it's almost like if someone makes a movie right now, regardless of whether it's a cartoon or a regular just live action film, if you make it with just a hetero male and female, then you're doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. Like the critics will pan it. Oh, it's not inclusive enough. It's not that. Like, okay, can we just have movies go back to being movies?
Yeah.
Right. With good plot lines, good stories. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of these movies, like Lightyear. In my opinion, Lightyear didn't fail because it had a girl kissing a girl.
No.
Lightyear failed because you called it Lightyear. It didn't make it a cartoon about Buzz Lightyear. You made it about like his origin story.
Yeah.
Or some weird stuff like that.
But he's a toy.
And you got rid of the voice character that did Buzz Lightyear. Right, the original storyline for him was he was a toy.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to make it out like it was some real astronaut space guy.
Yeah, and they actually addressed the origin, like in one of the movies where Buzz Lightyear's in the toy store and there's a million of them, and he didn't realize that he was a toy.
Right.
He's like,
like that was the origin story.
Yeah.
And you went and rewrote
Aisle 6 of Toys R Us.
Right. And
origin story.
And you went back and rewrote it.
Yeah.
And people who were going to see Lightyear were Toy Story fans.
Yeah.
And kids, but they were Toy Story fans. And you just, like, if you were going to make that movie, you shouldn't have called it Lightyear. Call it anything else.
Yeah.
It might have resembled Buzz Lightyear, but you could have easily have changed the uniform, the character names. You could have changed like a few minor things and just made it a completely different movie.
Yeah.
And I think it wouldn't have bombed as bad as it did. But people keep like, oh, well, it was because there was a lesbian kissing scene. No, that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no.
You tried to bring people into a movie theater based on a beloved character that was not in just one movie.
4.
But it was a 4-series movie.
Yeah.
A movie series. There's Toy Story 1 through 4. And now all of a sudden you were going to go back and rewrite this character that was beloved by everyone. And then you went and blamed the audience for not liking it.
Yeah.
Like they were calling like the audience was, well, if you don't like this, you're homophobic.
Yeah.
No, you made a crap movie and you need to own up to it. It's almost like, and there was another movie that got put out there, and I'm probably going to get roasted for this, but the movie The Woman King.
Okay.
Right? Now, if you just watch that movie, Viola Davis is just out there just whooping ass, right?
Right.
Like, it's what women, it's kind of like what Wonder Woman was to the superhero world. Mm-hmm. You had a strong female lead, but it wasn't like Gal Gadot was in there because she was female. No, she was Wonder Woman. Like, it wasn't a forced storyline. You know what I mean? Well, with The Woman King, it wasn't a forced storyline. There was an actual all-woman tribe in Africa.
Yeah.
That they kind of based it off of, but they got it roasted because they didn't stay true to history. Like, it wasn't a documentary. It was an action movie. Mm-hmm. And people got all pissed. Like, and then people got pissed off on both sides. Like the woke people got all pissed off because it wasn't historically accurate to the woman tribe. And then the other people were like, oh, it's just all minorities in it. It's like, yeah, who gives a crap?
Right.
Like, the movie, if you go to that movie and you just watch it because you want to go see an action movie, and and Viola Davis just whooping up on some people, and doing like some amazing kind of cool fighting scenes, that movie's really good. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking for some agenda in the movie, like if you go to the movie thinking, oh, I'm going there because I want to see this African woman tribe do something. No, you're not going to find that.
Does anyone go to a movie because they want to see an agenda? So
I'm sure some people, like The Passion of the Christ, right? Like,
yeah.
I never saw it.
But The Passion of the Christ wasn't masquerading as a kid's movie.
No. Or it's people like going like when Braveheart came out, thinking it was going to be historically 100% accurate.
Right.
Which it was not.
Right. Neither was The Patriot, which is just Braveheart with muskets and the redcoats.
Yes. Which, the funny part is, both were great movies.
Yeah.
And even, like, watching The Patriot, you're like, this is Braveheart with muskets.
Yeah, you knew it.
But I still love it.
Right, it's like Top Gun and Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder was just Top Gun with cars.
Right.
It was two-dimensional Top Gun.
But I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it every time it's on TV. I'll watch Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're right. It's like when they put these movies out, it's like, okay, do we pander to this group and this group and this group and this group? And if the answer is no, you got to rewrite it. You got to put something else.
Yeah, like I just wonder what sort of focus groups they go through, because they have to put these movies up through focus groups.
Do they though? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe they. But first of all, I think we've said like probably the most disingenuous people are going to be Hollywood executives.
That's true.
And detached from reality, and when I went I was not expecting. So Pixar generally does good stuff. Yeah. And seeing it, like the animation was cool, but it wasn't earth-shattering. I guess the last really good movie that they did that I saw was Moana. Moana was a great movie.
Yeah.
And then they came out with Encanto or Encant.
I dug that
I liked
too.
it, but I called it Land Moana because that's kind of what it was. But
that just shows you can redo a movie, basically.
Right. But here's the thing. You did... So, for those who want to say, "Oh, you didn't like the LGBTQ," you're calling it bolt-ons of Strange World. The central characters to both Moana and Encanto were not white dudes. One was an Asian Pacific Islander girl, and the other one was a Latina, and they're both awesome movies. The music in both of them were great. They're made it onto some of my actual playlists that I have. Good storylines, like they were great movies. So I think one can say like, yeah, this one hit the mark and that one didn't.
So it looks like Strange World was not Pixar.
Really? Because it's definitely Disney.
I don't think all Disney's are Pixar's though.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. It's like they're saying the last one Pixar did was Lightyear, Turning Red, Luca, Soul, Onward, Toy Story 4. I mean, and we're back into 2019 with Toy Story 4. And the next ones coming up are Elemental in 2023, Elio in 2024, and Inside Out 2 in 2024.
So Inside Out is an awesome movie.
It was great. Yeah.
Inside Out was one, and I still refer to Inside Out. I think that's how the inside of people's heads actually are.
Yeah.
Like I always kind of envision like the inside of my head, like there's like it's almost like a cockpit, and there's some dudes in there like like there's a whole bunch of dials and switches and.
Well, have you seen that commercial for the Roomba? The last one. So like, the Roomba's going toward this guy's shirt, and this guy's singing really loud in the shower, and so they. It's like they take the camera inside the Roomba, and the guy, the commander on the bridge is saying, "Move around," and the guy turns around going, "What?" the driver, he's like, "What? Move around," and then like the other person comes, "Move around," and the guys go, "What?" And so then they go back outside, and the thing moves around.
Yeah,
and it says something stupid like. Avoiding objects. It's like 2010 or something. By the way, Inside Out, that came out in 2015.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
That was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 7 years ago. That's gonna be 8 years between first and second movie.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
But Inside Out was really good.
I did like it.
I mean, I'll see the second one. I mean, Inside Out, like it's cute for the kids. But like it gets into like some Freudian psychology, like it's really cool. How that movie, especially then they show the cat, and like it's just the cat dancing around the. It's like when the cat freaks out, it's all the cats inside of the cat freaking out.
I forgot about that. Or the what was the? Or how like the songs get stuck in your head. Mm-hmm. Like they had the double mint gum. Like, oh boy.
But
so Walt Disney Animation is separate from Pixar.
Okay.
So Strange World was 2020. Oh, Zootopia Plus coming out soon.
Zootopia was a good movie.
I love. I still watch that.
Yeah.
Wish, Encanto, Baymax, which is Big Hero, with the sequel to Big Hero 6.
Okay.
Which I thought Big Hero 6 was great, and I don't remember when the original came out, but dude, it's been forever. And apparently the guys who made that movie never wanted to do a sequel. But the other weird thing is, why do they keep calling these things Plus? Why is it Zootopia Plus? Why is it calling Baymax with the exclamation point? Like, why are we doing this?
Maybe it's like Fast and the Furious.
Although Zootopia Plus, I think, is actually a TV show.
Oh, okay.
On Disney Plus. Like, why everything's got to be Plus? Can we stop with the Plus?
Yeah, find another one to do it.
Or
Paramount Plus.
Or just stop calling these things Plus.
Yeah.
Like, just call it Disney streaming service.
Yeah.
Don't call it Disney Plus.
Or Disney Plus can call it Disney Plus because they're the first. So they're allowed.
Were they?
Yeah.
Because there was Apple TV Plus.
Oh, was there?
Then Discovery Plus.
So I thought Disney was it's the first one that anyone cared about.
That's true. Yeah, right. And look, even if you're the third or fourth one out with the word Plus in your name, if you're the one people associate with that,
right,
you win. Everyone else get rid of the Plus.
Yeah. It's like they say Apple was the first smartphone. No, BlackBerry was, but the BlackBerry Storm was a pile of garbage.
Right.
So Apple kind of wasn't the first one. It was the first one that anyone actually wanted. Or that was usable.
Oddly enough, BlackBerry is now securing probably every smartphone on the planet. They switched the software.
Oh, yeah?
They do. They I believe they're the backbone for most car systems. Like car infotainment systems.
Okay.
Like, I know they're the backbone for Chrysler products, but I think they're the backbone for others too, or at least they secure. Not that they're doing a great job, because there's always. I love how like every like couple of years, 60 Minutes will do something where they show like this kid just like hacking into a car and driving it.
Yeah.
It's like, what? This kid just with a laptop just driving a Hyundai.
Yeah.
Like, now your Hyundai's moving. Like, what?
Right.
But no, I agree. Like, and I'm not saying like, I'm not saying as far as the movie agendas go, I'm not saying if you're gonna have gay and lesbian stuff in it, it's got to be the focus of the movie. But make it make sense in the movie.
Yeah, make it.
Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's got to be Milk, where it was predominantly like Harvey Milk was gay. That was part of the reason why he ran for city council. Mm-hmm. Or with Philadelphia, like it was about AIDS and the gay community. Okay, like that part and Brokeback Mountain, how Cowboys, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was essential to the movie plot line. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it's going to be like the point,
right?
But don't just kind of throw it in for 15 minutes and then be like, okay, back to the movie.
Yeah.
Like, what? No, that didn't fit.
Right.
Like, and people are, what? LGBT stuff doesn't fit now? Doesn't fit no, I'm just saying, like, look, put it, like, make a good movie, and if it's going to be part of the story, make it fit into the story. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Don't just have them on there to, when the politicians pretend to speak Spanish? Right. Like, what was it, Joe Biden? Like, "Su se Broadway." It's like, what? Like, you didn't think, so clearly you don't speak Spanish.
Right.
Number one, if that's how you say it. And then number two, and then when Joe Biden said, like, oh, look, like, I love these tacos, like, what?
Right, we was talking about, like, all the different tacos.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, dude, did you just say that?
Yeah.
And of course he did. And people were like,
but no one calls him out on it.
No.
Yeah.
Or like when Hillary was like, they asked, what's in your purse right now? Her first thing, it wasn't like tissues, car keys, hot sauce.
Yeah. Okay, Hillary.
Like, okay.
Sure.
Like, can we stop with the pandering? It's like someone like if we brought someone on a show and they were like, so what's in your purse there, Megan? Oh, cupcakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
To pander to like the fat kids.
guys.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I got oatmeal cream pies and beer, fatty. Ooh, you're in the in club with us.
Right. Got to vote for you. Oatmeal cream pies and beers for everyone when you get elected.
Yeehaw. And a gun. but there's again, like we've talked about before, like the conservative candidates, like shooting the tax code with a shotgun,
Yes.
like, or Lauren Boebert walking around with a gun on her hip. Like, you are in one of the most secure buildings, and you need your own gun. The only person going to shoot with that gun is yourself, or somebody that you do, like. It's accidental discharge waiting to
You're
happen.
going to Plaxico burst yourself?
Yeah,
You remember that?
yeah.
Dude?
When he shot himself
in the
locker.
leg.
Idiot. So lucky that he didn't lose his damn leg doing it. Like,
You're in the middle of making what, 15 mil a season, or eight to 10, whatever, some absurd amount of money to go catch a football, and you're gonna put that at risk because you're carrying a pistol in your sweatpants that are hanging below your ass.
into the locker room of an NFL stadium, which is surrounded by cops.
Well, no, I guess he went to a club that night.
Oh, okay.
But at least tie the drawstring on the sweatpants.
Buy a freaking holster, homie.
Something. Or you want to know what? Have it be good enough that your boys got it.
Yeah.
Let your boys take care of it. That's what you pay them for.
Right.
Like, can we be smarter, please?
You got the weed man and the gun guy.
Right. Like Lauren.
Yeah.
When you go in, bring a couple cowboys with you if that's where you're from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have a couple wear 10-gallon hats if you're really gonna play it up. Bring a couple Yosemite Sams.
They can ride a horse even.
Sure. Bring your Yosemite Sam lookalikes with the mustache. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be a spectacle, be a spectacle.
Yeah.
But if you end up shooting yourself in the leg, you are now going to be the laughingstock.
Yeah.
Like, Plaxico Burress went to jail for that.
For shooting himself.
Yes. And they got him on the gun and the gun possession.
Yeah.
Not the shooting himself.
Right.
The possession. Like, you became a meme.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like who's the other girl? Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Oh, yeah.
Could you say more dumb shit?
Right.
Like, I don't think you could. Like, it's like you wake up in the morning and like, look, I got to get my 6 dumb things in before noon.
Yeah.
So that I make sure that I'm all over that Twitter board. You know what I mean? Like, let me get up on that.
Like, Like, there was Jewish space lasers.
Right.
Like, huh?
Right.
Like,
Space laser. By the way, if you think we're kidding and the space lasers comment wasn't made, you Google that one. Because someone actually talked about Jewish space lasers.
Right.
I was pissed off that I didn't know about the space lasers before. Like, if there's someone out there with the space laser, like the literal Death Star from Star Wars out there, and no one's telling us about this,
Right.
Like, what would bring out American pride more than saying we built the fucking Death Star?
Right. We have the Death Star now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, everyone would be. I think everyone, both political sides, be like, well, you know what?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The Northrop Grumman Death Star.
Right. Sponsored by Pepsi.
And Pfizer.
Could you imagine? Like, they got like a video camera on that, and it's just a big old Pepsi logo. 'Cause you got to get your stadium sponsored. When you got to get your Death Star sponsored.
Pepsi Death Star.
And then every once in a while, why don't you just do something with it.
Yeah.
Put that shit on TV. It's like, look at how many views Elon Musk's rockets get just because he's landing rockets in tandem. Like, he's doing synchronized swimming for rockets.
Yeah.
And people are watching that shit.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Cool.
I watched it multiple times.
Yeah.
It's just 2 rockets coming down in tandem and just get, and they drop down like a baby's butt. Like, just, it's soft as anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty cool.
I like watching the screw ups when they were testing them. Those are fun too.
Well, you know,
We're just
like,
shooting off into.
listen, I got to have my Discovery Channel and my America's Funniest Home Videos, right? I need both.
Yeah.
I need my screw ups on America's Funniest Home Videos, and I need my Discovery Channel to see that shit actually work. I think it's pretty cool. Imagine if you had the Death Star on the Discovery Channel,
Right.
and then you had America's Funniest Home Videos where like they blew up a cat or something. They just shoot some random lady's cat in like Nebraska
with the space laser.
Yeah, like oops, sorry.
Yeah, missed.
Yeah, we got Coco.
Yeah.
Shot her in the ass. She's okay though.
Yeah,
it was that low frequency laser. We didn't use that high powered laser.
Right, you're lucky it was just the cat. It could have been your whole property.
We got lasers.
But I'm trying. How did the Jews fall into that?
I have no idea.
I I don't understand.
Was the scientist? I mean, if I'm going to assume that the Death Star is there now. Is it just because it was a Jewish scientist to kind of put it all together? So now it's the Jewish space laser.
Whenever these wackos like Kanye West just went off on this.
Oh my God!
Railing about the.
Did you hear this?
Yeah.
Did you hear that he was on Alex Jones? And the Nazis were kind of nice people.
He's got to be off his meds.
Oh my God! I listened to that. Like it's like a 3-minute clip, and it's hysterical. You're like, who the? And he's got like the video of it. He's got like a. I don't think it's a hijab because I don't know what. But he's basically got like a black hood over him, like he's being kidnapped by ISIS.
Is it like a Sith?
Dude, I swear to God, have you seen the video?
It's like the bad Kermit with the.
Apparently, it's like some Balenciaga hood, which, by the way, probably the right time to be wearing their stuff. He's got this black hood, so you can't see his face, and he's just talking like Hitler probably wasn't a bad guy. Like, bro, you couldn't string together 6 statements that were worse.
Yeah.
And, like you're on a show with Alex Jones. He was on InfoWars, and. Like for one, I don't watch InfoWars. I listen to it because like 6 news podcasts were podcasting about like it was that important. Like they had to put it right on air.
So I think just to watch 2 crazy people yell at each other.
The funny thing was
he's like Hitler probably was a bad guy. Then Alex was like the globalists, no shirt on. Like that's got to be just.
You want to know the funny part of it all? As nutty as Alex Jones is. Kanye West says these 3 or 4 things, and Alex Jones is like, yeah, I don't know about that.
It's almost like when
you shock the guy who's shocking everybody else.
I don't know. It's like when ISIS came out, and Al Qaeda was like, yeah, y'all kind of crazy. Like, hey, we're bad, but we're not those guys.
Right. We would like to denounce the ISIS.
Al Qaeda's denouncing what?
We do not agree with what they are doing.
Right. Al Qaeda and the Taliban are saying that you're a bad dude. You're probably a bad dude.
Right. So now you got Alex Jones looking at Kanye like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like, if you ever get the chance, just go on YouTube. I'm sure you find clips. Just like type in Kanye West, Alex Jones.
Oh God.
It was like I shouldn't be laughing because there's an actual human being who, by the way, wants to run for president.
And people will vote for him.
And people are going to vote for him.
There's going to be about 60,000 people that vote for him.
Now people say like he's just kind of saying what like, and this is going to be a hot topic. Apparently, like Louis Farrakhan says a lot of this stuff, like about Jewish people and Hitler and all this other stuff. Now, I don't know.
I don't think Louis Farrakhan would have fared too well under Hitler's rule.
No, I'm pretty sure he would not. But if he's leading like a group of men, or if people are looking at him for guidance, and this is the stuff he's putting out there, like, ooh, maybe we should be looking in that direction a little bit, or maybe like, hey, minister, maybe we need to tone that down a little bit because you got this guy as your spokesperson. He might not be translating what you're putting out there quite right.
He might not be interpreting this quite as.
Well, I know like Nick Cannon and Deshaun Jackson, when they got in trouble for saying stuff about Jewish people, they specifically said like they were definitely following Farrakhan. Mm-hmm. Farrakhan doesn't have a very kind view of Jewish people.
Yeah, I'm not that versed in anything he said.
Either am I. I don't know exactly what he says about Jewish people. I just know it's not kind.
Yeah.
I ain't seeking out that sermon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Is Kanye like a flat earther now too? Like he might as well throw that in the mix.
No, I don't think he is. No, I think he's still thinking earth round. But I guess like he got back in the media because he went and had dinner with Trump, and apparently like he brought a white nationalist, Nick Fuentes, with him.
Yeah. Who's like a troll slash...
Yeah. Which is odd to me because Nick Fuentes is obviously Hispanic in some shape or form.
Yeah.
He's a white supremacist?
Right.
Like, here's what I don't get.
He brought like Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos with him.
Yeah, well, I guess like Milo is tight with Trump.
Yeah, but Milo is now apparently some conservative Christian who's not gay anymore.
I thought he was gay.
Well, not anymore.
Well, I know he was molested as a child. That's how it all. Like that's how his whole world kind of started to unfold.
Yeah,
because he made like a really off-putting joke about child molestation, and then to kind of recover from that, he was like, "Well, hold on a minute. I made the joke. I am a child molestation survivor." And then he kind of came. That's when he kind of came out as gay.
Yeah,
I don't really know the whole story behind the guy. It's really odd to me. Mm-hmm. What happened there?
Yeah,
but apparently, like he did a lot to get Trump elected the first time. And then he felt stabbed in the back by Trump. So now he's out to get Trump. I mean, dude, you couldn't write some of this. Like if this isn't a book for somebody to write or a TV show,
yeah,
I don't know what is. Someone needs to get on that.
Yeah, because it's like all the crazy people got together.
Dude, you couldn't write a better script.
Yeah,
like you got crazy A, crazy B, C, D, E, and they all interconnect. That's a TV show.
Yeah,
that's like the Real Housewives, except none of them have to act. They're just natural.
You don't even need writers.
No,
you just write it. It's like reality. It's reality TV except like it's really real. So.
And the funny part, like, they're just kind of like the tip of the iceberg. Like, there are some people out there that believe in some really crazy stuff. Like, I know we have a certain perspective on a lot of topics, right? Because we don't think people that are that crazy are out there, right? At one point, I was like, oh, no one talks like this. In our circle, no one talks like this. This isn't, or whatever it was at the time. And come to find out, though, there are people out there believing like in the Jewish Death Star.
Yeah.
Someone believes that.
Right.
Like, not only is someone speaking it, but they're finding someone stupid enough to believe it. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. If it's there, I think it's cool. But I'm just saying, I don't think it really exists. Not yet.
Right.
You know? But
if it's there, the alien people have to know about it.
Right. You know, and look, I'm saying if we do have a Death Star, maybe it's not Jewish. Right? And like, how is it Jewish? Like,
why can't it be the Catholic Death Star?
Right, like why is it Jewish? Like, is it because is Israel on it, and that's why it's a Jewish Death Star? Like, I would like more information. Like, if there's a flyer or pamphlet, I think I'd read it.
Did you have literature on this?
Right, you know, mostly just because I want
a
there
QR
to be
code, perhaps.
Right, yeah. I mean, mostly because I would like there to be an actual Death Star.
Right.
Not, I think that'd be kind of cool. Progress, someone would have it. I don't think one country put that together. Probably be like a coalition of countries, but hey, we can work together.
The NATO Jewish Death Star.
Sure, I just don't. I mean, maybe Jewish is like the name brand, right? Maybe there's a company out there called like Jewish Aeronautics.
Maybe it's Druish.
Druish, right? With the Jewish princesses.
Yeah. From Spaceballs.
From Druidia.
Yeah.
So yeah, but with the movies though. Speaking of movies, though, how Mel Brooks used to work in the Jewish references to all of his movies.
Yeah,
it was part of the plot.
Yeah,
like or at least it was a funny throw in, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Spaceballs, they were Druish.
Yeah, or it worked like it had that horrible reference to like she had a big nose before she had a nose job.
Yeah,
and then she had the nose job.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of like ooh, I don't think you get away with those movies now.
No, I don't. And the thing is, like, they were genuinely funny. Like, Blazing Saddles would never get made today.
Can't. Although, Paws of Fury, the story of Hank.
Okay.
There's a lot of parallels there, and Mel Brooks was part of that movie. Mm-hmm. The scene where Hank is coming into the town as the new sheriff. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, as the new samurai.
Okay.
And in Paws of Fury, the town it's all cats. Like it's the whole kind of universe is cats. Like there's a dog universe and a cat universe, and they don't mix. And then, well, this cat town needs a samurai, and so Hank, or the president of Catopia or whatever it was, wanted the land. I mean, if it sounds like Blazing Saddles, because it pretty much is the plot. So instead of sending a dog samurai or a cat samurai, they send this dog samurai because Hank wanted to be a samurai. Like, well, there's never been a dog samurai before. Like there's never been a black sheriff before.
Right.
and so as he's coming into the town, it's the exact scene from Blazing Saddles when the sheriff comes into town. It's the same thing. Like the guy on the rooftop shouting out that he's coming. He's like, "Who? What?" And you hear the bell ringing to like mask all the words that they should be saying. So if you watch Paws of Fury, I think it's like the story of Hank or something like that. And if you're a fan of Blazing Saddles, you'll be rolling laughing. Yeah. Your kids won't understand why you're laughing.
So I need to watch Blazing Saddles again because the last time I saw it, I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
Because my parents rented it and we watched it, and they were dying laughing. Yeah. And like I'd laugh at some of this stuff, or like but I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch that again as an adult now. But
pardon my nose.
Yeah. But I think that, with these movies, I wish they would just get away from trying to just add, like I hate to even say it, like the woke agenda into it, and just focus on making good movies. And, there are some good stories out there that feature these characters that they want to feature. I guess the whole idea is they want to, include these different groups, which is great, but there are standalone stories, whether they're fictitious or nonfiction, like Milk was nonfiction, that are good that they can do it without. I think there's a movie coming out based on a novel. It's called, of all things, spoiler alert. And it's got Jim Parsons and Ben Aldridge, and they play. They're lovers, they're boyfriends, and like how, it kind of, I think one of them's diagnosed with cancer, and it's about their relationship and it sounds like a decent movie. Mm-hmm. So let's see more stuff like that, where it's legit good storytelling about some of these groups or these cultures that traditionally haven't been seen. And I think if you were to do that, people would like it, and it would be genuine, rather than some of this disingenuous, let's just check boxes off.
Well, another movie that came out where they tried to make it more part of the movie was a movie called Bros. Mm-hmm. But apparently, it was just another poorly made movie.
Yeah.
They spent about 30 to 40 million marketing it. Now, I don't know if that includes how much they spent in making it. But it only made about 15 million.
Yeah.
So it lost 15 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure why. I mean, everyone's going to say, well, because America's homophobic. But, I mean, it just might have been that having a romantic comedy based on two guys that doesn't focus on anything else other than romance between two guys.
Right.
That's like having, if you had a romance comedy rom-com with a guy and a girl that was just based on the relationship between the guy and the girl.
Yeah.
No one's really gonna care about that.
Well, and let's also think who goes to see rom-coms?
Girls.
Right. Why do men go see rom-coms?
Just girls.
Right, because the girl wants to go see it.
Sure.
I've never sat down and thought, man, I really want to watch a rom-com.
I need to go see Bridget Jones' Diary.
Right. Never crossed my mind. No, I will say that I think it was Friends with Benefits, which was Mila Kunis and
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. That was a funny movie.
That was a funny movie, though.
But I'm not going to see that on my own.
No.
My wife, like, if I'm going to see a movie, like, if there's a good war movie or a Star Wars film or even a Lord of the Rings type of deal going on,
right,
versus the rom-com, I'm watching stuff blow up.
The comedy in a rom-com has got to be solid.
Yeah.
For example, like the movie The Breakup, where it had Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston.
Mm-hmm.
That was like at Vince Vaughn's peak.
Yeah.
And every dude wanted to be Vince Vaughn because he was that funny guy.
Yeah, even though just Vince Vaughn played Vince Vaughn in every movie he was in.
Yeah, he plays the same dude in every movie.
Yeah.
Like when he played, like in Fred Claus, he basically played Santa Claus's brother as Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Like that was what it was.
Yeah, it's just Vince Vaughn doing his same old shtick.
Right.
Wedding Crashers. And that was kind of a rom-com. But there's some quotes from that come out.
Yeah.
But again, and women want to watch that because they put themselves in the place of the female lead.
Right.
And that whole interaction, that's what they want from their boyfriend or from their husband. Men go because they want to have sex with the woman that makes them go.
Right.
So that's how a rom-com works. That's how it makes money.
And you hope the movie's just good enough that you don't mind sitting through it.
Right. With the hopes of getting laid when you get home.
And that too.
Now, you make a rom-com that's a gay rom-com. The genre itself isn't that strong. Well, now there's no girl to go to say, I want to put myself in the position of the girl.
The allies.
Yeah. But no one's, like, the thing was that, like, I'm not going to go watch that. My wife isn't going to go see it necessarily.
Right.
So you're kind of limiting it to the audience. It's just going to be gay men. And then some of their friends that might go along. But the average dumb schlub like us probably isn't going to go see that movie because we wouldn't have gone to see the rom-com anyway.
Right.
Unless our wives made us go. And now they'll just, like, my wife will just go with her friends to see it because she knows I'm not going to want to do it.
Or she just won't go see it at all.
Yeah. Or she'll just wait for it to stream someday and she'll put it on and I'll fall asleep on the couch.
Right.
And then so will she.
Yep.
And we'll wake up when the credits are rolling. But it's not even going to get to that point because she's not going to be interested in it necessarily.
Yeah.
Now, this other one, spoiler alert, seems like a good story.
Which one?
It's the one with Jim Parsons and Ken Aldridge, I think the guy's name is. Another one that's coming out that features, I think, is called The Whale, which is Brendan Fraser. But the stink is that Brendan Fraser's not gay. So does it have to be a gay man that plays, or could it just be a good actor that does a good part? Tom Hanks wasn't gay, and he was in Philadelphia. You know, who was in Brokeback Mountain? It was the dude that's dead,
Heath Ledger,
and some other guy,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
And neither one of those guys are gay, but they were. That was a good movie. You know, not to say that a gay actor couldn't have gotten the part if there was one that could fill the role as good as those guys could have, you know. So, but let's let the movies, the stories be good, rather than just tacking it on to, like I said a couple of times, to check the box off.
Yeah, and the other problem that these movies have, and it kind of, it sort of sets future movies up for failure a little bit, is when either the actors or actresses or producers or directors then blame the audience for being either homophobic, misogynistic, sexist, whatever you want to call it, whatever ism, or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna blame moviegoers because you made a bad movie.
Yeah.
Once you do that, though, especially if it's a director or an actor or actress doing it, you're losing people to view your next movie.
Yeah.
Because you come off like an ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean you're going to blame me for not liking this movie?
Yeah.
because I didn't like the movie, or you're going to say it's because I'm this, that, or another thing, rather than I just didn't like the movie.
Right, the movie wasn't any good.
Or because other people told me I should like it for this, or for I just can't like it because I couldn't like The Woman King because it was just a good movie, a good action movie. Mm-hmm. I had to hate it because it wasn't historically accurate. I had to hate it because I forget what the other reason was they gave, but like everyone's telling me the reasons I should hate it, when if I'm gonna go see it and it's a good kick-ass movie, just let me like it for what it is.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what I need to like it or not like it for.
And then make me feel like I have to like it because it's this, that, or the other. Right. Now, so who? Key and Peele. It's one. Is it Peele or is it Key? Is it Jordan Peele that's doing all like the horror movies?
Yeah.
And the cast is almost entirely black. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a horror movie fan, so I don't watch them. But I'm looking at them, like the one movie that came out the most recently is Nope.
Yeah.
Like that looks like a kind of cool movie, because it has aliens. It's not like some slasher film. More of a thriller, suspense type movie. And I'm like, that looks pretty cool. I might actually check it out. But he's done some good stuff. It has nothing to do with the fact, and I'm not going to go see it just because it features a black cast.
No,
but here's the thing: if it does feature a black cast and it hits off really well, like that's awesome, good, great.
Right.
But it started out with being a good story and that was told well.
Right. It's one of those things where if you go see the movie and it has an all black cast, but you walk away from it saying it was a great movie.
Yeah. And
not, well, it was great because it had an all black cast.
Yeah.
Or it was okay. Oh, and it had an all black cast. If everyone can walk out of that, and their first comment isn't, well, it was an all black cast, then you made a good movie.
Yeah. You shouldn't walk out. To me, it's worse if you walk out and say, "Yeah, that was really good for a movie that was an all black cast." Like that you might as well just be like, "Oh, they did a pretty good job."
Right.
In spite of it, no, it's a great movie that was well directed. It was acted well, because everyone's just as capable as performing as everybody else. And if it features an all black cast, that's great. Right. And yeah, you're right. You came out and said that was a good movie. That it wasn't done to check boxes or anything. That's just the way the story was told.
Right, and it fit. I mean, it's kind of like when Boys in the Hood was made.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the characters were black because it fit the story.
Yeah. Right.
It wasn't because, and they didn't work in what's that guy Jamie? Who was the guy who was always doing who was that? Malibu's Most Wanted. That guy.
Oh yeah.
Jamie. I forget what his name was. But he's not just thrown in there.
So he's a white guy.
Token white guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can see a movie with an all black cast. Don't just throw in the random white dude.
Yeah.
Because you need to check a box. No, we don't need that.
Yeah.
But that was a good movie. It just so happened to have an all black cast.
Yeah.
Same thing with Purple Rain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just so happened to have an all black cast.
Yeah.
I feel like now though, they're not making the movies like that. No, they're not. They're not making good movies that just so happen to have an all black cast. We forced an all black cast onto the screen.
Yeah.
And you better like it because we did that. Right. It don't work like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. And if his story didn't have any, if it had no minorities or anyone that, that was LGBTQ or disabled or whatever else, and the story was a good story, let the story be told as it needs to be told. Because it just seems disingenuous when you're putting people in there that it doesn't fit. If you were to do a story about the Roman Empire featuring Caesar, well, Caesar was an Italian dude,
right. Well, and then there's another issue of the audience itself, where, so for example, with Wakanda Forever, there was a huge online movement amongst the younger people out there. Older people wouldn't know about this, right?
Yeah.
Rural areas weren't going to know about this. But basically saying, they would go on TikTok and basically say, look, if you're a white person, you better sit it out for a week. This is for black people only. To go to like the first weekend of seeing Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, hold on. This is a Marvel comic movie. This is a Marvel Universe movie. There's a whole bunch of white people that like Marvel Universe movies. There's a whole lot of people that like the original Black Panther that were white.
Yeah.
You're gonna hamstring a movie. You're literally gonna, because some people will listen to it and be like, oh, well, I better not go.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give them that space.
Right.
Meanwhile, but here it is. My 5-year-old,
Yeah.
his favorite, and I don't know why he's into Marvel because I've never been into any of that stuff, and I'm not going to see that movie because I'm not into Marvel. I'll wait for him to want to watch it when it's on some streaming platform. I guess Disney Plus is where that'll be. But my 5-year-old, his favorite Marvel superhero is Black Panther.
Right.
So am I going to go to him and be like, hey, I'm sorry, bud. We're going to wait till next weekend because you're not of the right color? Like, no, I'm not going to say that. But he's not going to compute. That's not going to compute. What lesson am I teaching? Lesson am I teaching my son at that point?
And never mind the fact, I don't think those people really realize what they're doing as far as hurting the box office sales. I mean, when you're out there trying to say that white people are not welcome, white people make up 60% of the population here.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody else is obviously the other 40%. Now, 13% is black.
Yeah.
Just by, you're literally going to put some people off from going to see that movie at all.
And then let's talk about who possesses most of the wealth in the country as well.
Sure.
So, and that's just that's just a fact.
That's
I mean,
like, a lot of people that were going to go to that movie, you basically told them not to go support this movie.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, like, if I was the director or if I was Disney, not that I'd be like coming out and be like, hey, shut the hell up here.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, hey, we appreciate what you're trying to do, but that we made this movie for all people.
Yeah.
And everyone is welcome to come see the movie on opening weekend. You need to shut that right down because, especially for Disney, who's having a lot of flops lately.
Yeah.
These Marvel movies are what makes you money.
Mm-hmm. It's the closest thing they have to actually printing money.
This and Star Wars, cash cows.
Yeah.
You only have basically one Star Wars movie left.
Yeah.
To come out. And then the 9 books are done. And then you got to hope that your spin-offs work.
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever was going to do buckets of money until that happened.
Yeah.
Because, one, the original Black Panther movie was awesome. Mm-hmm. And people are coming out of, some people have been coming out of COVID for over a year and a half, but some people are literally just coming out of COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
This movie was going to be their way.
Yeah.
To kind of come back. Like, movie theaters were having a rough time.
But isn't it, and then the other part, isn't it cool? I think it's cool that my 5-year-old's favorite superhero is Black Panther.
What, isn't this
like to me? It's a sign of progress. Like my little white boy, his favorite superhero was T'Challa. I don't know the names of is from
T'Challa.
Yeah.
Well, he died.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
but
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
But that's my 5-year-old's favorite superhero is black. Like that's cool.
Well, and wasn't this the purpose of the black Barbies and the black main characters? And wasn't it like you wanted these young kids to? I hate to say it this way, but you wanted them to not see color.
Yeah.
You wanted them to see that having a black superhero be a white kid's favorite superhero to be the norm, or the black Barbie was to be the norm. Like my girls have they play with their black Barbies all the time. Mm-hmm. It's not because we didn't buy them because they were black Barbies. They just happened to be what got gifted to them.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're like, oh, that's Black Barbie. No, it's just Barbie.
Yeah.
or whatever the character name. I don't forget what character name, but whatever.
Yeah.
But wasn't that
The box says Barbie.
right? But it wasn't. Wasn't that the goal from like 20 years ago when we were kids?
Yeah.
Or 25 years ago when we were kids? Like the representation matters. Okay, well, there's representation now.
Yeah.
And the goal was to make it so that, you know, young kids of color saw themselves, but also so that maybe the young white kids didn't see the other colors as lesser than, right?
Yeah.
It was the same. Like, Black Panther was the same as Iron Man.
Yeah.
Even though Iron Man's white and Black Panther's black. Mm-hmm. To them, they could love Black Panther as much as but more than they loved Iron Man.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. That was the point from 25 years ago for the representation to hit. And now that it has, you literally have people saying, you can't come because you're white.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what the goal is of that. Like, if you want an event, you can easily rent out a movie theater. I think for a brand new movie, you can rent out an entire one theater. Like, I'm not saying you rent out like all of the screens, but you rent out one screen. If you want to have it be an all black thing, where everywhere wears all white.
Yeah.
I guess that was what it was supposed to be. You can rent it out for $150 and you get 20 people in there. Mm-hmm. Like that, I think at our local movie theater, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have your event. Mm-hmm. Don't go online and start demonizing people.
Yeah.
It's like, and then you get people like, well, you know, that's what they deserve for all the prior years.
Yeah.
Okay.
That my 5-year-old had to deal with it?
Or even us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I haven't done anything to oppress you.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get pissed off at the banks that did it.
Yeah.
You know,
and I'll stand there with you.
Right. Like when the banks did redlining.
Yeah.
That's legit. I mean, they literally just settled a lawsuit on that 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's legitimate. That's current.
Or the Tuskegee experiments.
Right. Or I mean, but they're still doing, I mean, even to this day, even though the banks just settled on that, they're still doing redlining shit. Yeah. They're just now calling it something different. Mm-hmm. Yo, let me stand with you on that.
Yeah.
But don't, I don't know. I guess the counter argument is, well, you only want to do things that you want to get behind. You don't want to get behind other things. It's like, look, man, at that point you can't win.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because then it'll become a circular argument, or it'll go down to name calling. But I think it's the fact that my 5-year-old's favorite superhero is Black Panther, and he's got the mask, and he runs around. He's Black Panther. It's great. The other thing, like that kid also loves Top Gun, and then today the two of the boys were talking about Top Gun, and my middle son was talking about Phoenix in Top Gun. And for those of you who haven't seen it, Phoenix is played by, I think it's Monica Barbaroa or whatever. She's Hispanic. When the movie first opened, I saw her and I said, "Oh, here's the love interest." Nope. She was a good pilot, damn good pilot.
She's funny too.
Yeah. And I'm watching this.
Not that she was the comedic relief, but that was the first time when I felt like a woman carried the comic role very well.
And she did great. And the thing is, she was in the movie, and my middle son was talking about what, he was asking about how, like the birds hit the airplane and how she had to bail out. And like, that was all accurate, and how she handled that as the aircraft commander was cool. I mean, some might say that she stayed with the jet too long, but that happens quite frequently. They try to save it. But
now you're nerding out, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, but the cool thing about that character was that she was in it. She was in it because she was a good pilot, and if I had a daughter, I'd be like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
And the fact that my boys, even as little as they are, they recognize that she was in there. That, hey, she's in there. She's a good pilot. And then she had that great line when Hangman is He's like, Phoenix, where is he? And she goes, I'm dead, dickhead. Like, it was just great. Like, she was it was a good role, that she wasn't in there as the love interest of anyone. Right. It wasn't even a factor. She was in there because she was a competent pilot.
And you're right, though. The initial reaction when you saw her was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, okay. Who's going to try to bed this one?
Right. Or it's like, well, here's the affirmative action
role. But no, she was just a good character and a good pilot. So I like that. And the fact that my little boys noticed it too.
Yeah.
And wasn't like, oh, girls can't be fighter pilots. Like, nope, she's badass.
Well, never mind the fact, it shows it does show the progress. I mean, think of the first Top Gun.
Yeah.
There were no female pilots in that. Mm-mm. And now was there one or more than one? It's just her, right? But at least they didn't put her in as like the girly, whatever.
Yeah.
Like they put her in as a badass pilot.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, let us know what you think about the movies that are out today. Whether there should be some better writing, or maybe we're full of crap. Let us know that too.
Yeah.
Comment, like, subscribe, share. Thank you to Cheers and Spirits in the Arnold Station Plaza for sponsoring this episode. And we will see you next time.